Hello everyone, my name is Winda and right now I'm going to present my explanations of imagery and plot twists found in English literature. So first of all, what is imagery? Imagery is a literary device that uses descriptive language appealing to the five senses such as smell, sound, sight, taste, and touch to create vivid mental pictures and evoke emotions in the reader. So in short, imagery helps the reader to see, hear, feel, taste, or smell what's happening in the story almost as if they're experiencing themselves. It's not just about describing what something looks like, but also how it feels emotionally or symbolically. So these are the purpose of imagery is to create a mood or atmosphere. For example, is dark, romantic, peaceful, eerie, or to develop themes or symbol. For example, is by using light or dark imagery to represent good or evil. Show, not tell, letting readers feel instead of being directly told what to think. The fourth one is enhanced characterization by describing how a character perceives the world. And last one is make the writing more memorable and vivid. So the example of using imagery in literature we can find in F. Scott Fitzgerald's story, which is The Great Gatsby from 1925. Fitzgerald uses imagery throughout The Great Gatsby to bring the 1920 Jazz Age to life, a world of wealth, luxury, illusion, and moral decay. So the novel itself is filled with sensory details that let readers see, hear, and feel the atmosphere of Gatsby world. So why Great Gatsby connects to the imagery theme, and it's because the beauty and glitter of the American dreams are just some illusions. Beneath them lies emptiness, corruption, and lost ideals. So Fitzgerald imagery doesn't only describe because he also criticizes, and the glowing bodies, colors, and voices are all the metaphor for deceptions and the failure of true happiness in a materialistic world. We can see the book here. Here's the book The Great Gatsby, and here are the summary of the book itself. So The Great Gatsby is a 1925 novel by F. Scott Fitzgerald, and it's about the mysterious millionaire J. Gatsby and his obsessive pursuit of Daisy Buchanan, a wealthy woman he loved in his youth. The story itself set in the roaring 20s on Long Island and explored themes of wealth, social class, love, and the corruption of the American dream. After Gatsby's elaborate parties fail to win Daisy back, a tragic chain of events unfolds, culminating in Gatsby's murder, which is caused by the infidelity and moral decay of the wealthy elite. We can see the imagery in The Great Gatsby. Okay, so by the visual imagery, we can see the line where it says, in his blue gardens, men and girls camp and went like moths among the whispering and the champagne and the stars. This line creates a glowing, dreamlike picture of Gatsby parties, showing the beauty and emptiness of high society. By the color imagery, the green light at the end of Daisy's dogs symbolize Gatsby's unreachable dreams, while the gray valley of ashes represent moral decay and the dark sides of wealth. The auditory imagery, we can see the line where it says, her voice is full of money. Daisy's voice represents her beauty and privilege, showing Gatsby's obsession with material wealth. Setting imagery, the contrast between West Egg's glamour and the Valley of Ashes emphasizes the divide between the rich and the poor. The weather imagery, the rain when Gatsby meets Daisy symbolizes nervous emotion and hope, while the heat during their conflicts shows rising tensions. Okay, so I'm going to explain the plot twist. First of all, what is plot twist? A plot twist in literature is a sudden and unexpected change in the direction or outcome of a story's plot. It surprises the readers by revealing something new. Often we can see something that completely changed how we understand earlier events or characters. So the purpose of plot twist is, first one is to surprise the reader and keep them engaged by the story. The second one is to reveal hidden truths about characters or events that happen in the story. The third one is to change the meaning of earlier scenes of the story theme. And the last one is to evoke strong emotion such as shock, pity, and awe. Plot twist usually happens near the climax or ending, but smaller twists can appear throughout the story. So one of the few examples of plot twists in literature we can find in Agatha Christie novel. So one of her novel, I'm going to take this story which called Murder on the Orient Express from 1934. The novel Murder on the Orient Express is one of the best examples by using plot twist in literature because its entire mystery refers the reader expectation at the end. She fills the story with clues, red herrings, and lies, so readers try to guess who is the killer, just like in any normal detective story. And here are the book. It's The Murder on the Orient Express by Agatha Christie. So the summary of the book is, in Agatha Christie novel Murder on the Orient Express, Detective Hercule Poirot investigates the murder of a wealthy American businessman, Samuel Ratchet, on a snowbound train. Poirot discovers that the victim, who had been receiving threatening letters, was actually John Cassetti, the man responsible for the kidnapping and murder of a young girl named Daisy Armstrong. The investigation reveals that every passenger is connected to the Armstrong cast, and instead of one killer, they were all involved in a collective act of vengeance. So the plot is in the Murder Orient Express. We can see the story itself begins with a typical murder mystery. A man named Samuel Ratchet is found dead on the train, and Detective Hercule Poirot investigates to find out who killed him. Throughout the story, every passenger seems suspicious, but it looks like only one person could be guilty. However, the plot twist in the end reveals something completely unexpected, because all 12 passengers work together to murder Ratchet. Ratchet's real name is actually Cassetti, a criminal who had kidnapped and killed a little girl named Daisy Armstrong years earlier. So each passenger was connected to the Armstrong family, and they really wanted revenge, and they decided to take justice into their own hands and plan the murder together, each stabbing him once. So why it's a plot twist? Because one, it surprised the readers because detective story usually only have one murder, and it charged the meaning of all the clues we saw before. Every lie and alibi now makes sense, and it makes the reader questions morality because the killers act out of love and justice and not just greed or hatred. And that's it. Thank you for listening. Bye bye.